Hello, welcome to Beyond Injury Time. I'm Manish and I'm joined by my mates Rajesh, Abhay,
Hello.
Amit, and AJ. Today, in our first episode of Managerial Masterclass series, we are going to talk about the new Chelsea manager and ex-Spurs manager, Mauricio Pochettino. And for this, we have our special guest, Karthik, who's a Chelsea fan, as you can see from his jersey. Hi, Karthik.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm Karthik.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Hello, what's up?
Hey.
I've been a Chelsea fan forever. I've been watching the Blues since Jose Mourinho's first stint at Chelsea. So I've seen a lot of managers come and excited to be here and talk about this current manager.
Yeah. So, Karthik, what do you think about this appointment, and when do you think he's going to get sacked?
6 months probably would be good bet, Karthik.
And then
No,
after
my
that, they
question
will...
is, can he better Graham Potter?
No. The better question is, can he better Frank?
Frank,
Frank,
second,
man,
Frank second is six.
he didn't
Second
get
six.
sacked.
See, I feel like the stuff with Chelsea is that they get a new guy and then they sack the guy so that Frank can take over again.
But
Okay. Yeah. Let's get to hear from the Chelsea fan.
Yeah, man.
No, so like I think we can safely assume that Mauricio Pochettino will get to start the season. So maybe maybe midway through the season. But in all seriousness, I see him lasting for at least 2 seasons. This is not the same.
That's very
Chelsea.
ambitious,
Wow.
man. That's very ambitious
Yeah.
being a Chelsea supporter.
It's like you haven't been a Chelsea supporter at all, man.
exactly.
No, it is true because I'm saying this in the sense that I've seen Chelsea change, and it's almost from coming from a Chelsea fan, I can't recognize some aspects of this club. So I myself don't know how to anticipate. I mean, what to anticipate when it comes to the decision making at this club. But slowly over the last, 3, 4 managerial signings, we have focused on trying to get someone to stabilize the club, trying to implement a long-term vision. But due to all these circumstances, be it political, be it this takeover, it's just been chaotic. I mean, but I think it's finally time when we get a manager who's probably going to be staying at this club for the next 2 seasons for sure. And let's see if he can bring some stability.
So when you
I
say you haven't been able to anticipate how your club is thinking or what they are going to do next, do you mean ever since the Boehly era has started, or it was much before that? Have you been seeing symptoms of that before Boehly as well, or how do you put it?
Even before the Boehly era, it's been tough to uh, think about what Chelsea is going to do because Roman Abramovich was having trouble getting in and out of the country. We all know about the ambitious stadium rebuilding project that he had kickstarted. We had even gone to the extent of starting to get permission from all the local pub owners, the local residents, the pitch owners association, everyone, but that work got stopped because he wasn't allowed into the country. So I think his exit from the club was always coming, and it was a matter of when and how, and rather than if it would happen. So the war in Russia and everything accelerated all of that. But
Yes.
even when he was in control, I think towards the end of his tenure, he started realizing that he can't just keep hiring and firing forever. And I think Tuchel was a manager that he really thought would be in place for at least 2 or 3 seasons and oversee everything. And Tuchel, the way he dealt with the club, the way he dealt with everything, the change in ownership, he would always say that if I can't get plane tickets, I'll drive the team to the game. And iconic press conferences from Tuchel,
Yes, absolutely.
so we always thought that the next manager at Chelsea would be there for a significant amount of time. He would oversee the changing of the guard, the team that's being completely destroyed right now and being put together from scratch. All of these was due like for a long time now, and I think now it's happening because we have no other choice. Maybe it would have happened in different circumstances otherwise.
I believe
get-
Graham Potter was also bought for the same vision to stay a bit longer, to stabilize the team.
Yeah.
Right. So,
6-year
what do you
contract,
believe? What went wrong for Graham Potter? Which can go right, or what do you how it will be corrected with Pochettino?
Yeah, and I think to that also, I also want to understand a little bit that how he played with Chelsea, as in how he played his game with the Chelsea players, and was that something that Chelsea fans saw as a representation of how Chelsea generally plays, or it was something different than what you would expect?
No, I would say Graham Potter is probably the manager I least identified with as a Chelsea manager, not just because of the pedigree that he brought, but also because of the way, I mean, he generally was, like his demeanor, the way he talked
Yeah.
in press conferences is
Mm-hmm.
just unheard of from a Chelsea manager. Even
Okay.
like the other example, I mean, I don't think anyone, even Andres Villas-Boas was a better orator. He had a better vision for the club. But I think Potter, even after losing away, at 18th place teams, he would say the boys played well. And that's not something that you hear from a Chelsea
Yeah.
manager. You need to be cocky. You need to be
Yeah.
ready to win. You need to be able to push buttons. You need to be able to get into the opposition managers' heads. All of these things are what we look for. The aggression was just not there. And,
I'm actually liking all these questions in build up to what
yeah.
is to come for Chelsea.
Yeah.
I mean, brilliantly choreographed way it is
Yeah.
going. So I just wanted to ask that little one thing. You touched upon Potter's demeanor, right? So at
Yeah.
any big club across the top 6, right? I mean, this is a constant thing that the club looks for. Be it Jose Mourinho or be it anyone, right? You need to have that kind of a cocky mentality, speak the right things in the press
The
conference.
mind games and all that.
No,
Yeah.
sometimes it also backfires. Karthik,
Abhay.
you might
Yeah.
very well know about Antonio Conte.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, it's
Yeah.
interesting how the fans can get on the backs of the manager if the performance is not going well and he does not have good demeanor. Case in point, in Arsenal, we had Unai Emery, and everybody just kept on saying good evening. Good evening.
Yeah. No,
Right?
everybody
It was a
from every
shithole.
club said that, by the way.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, it became a joke. Like
Exactly,
even
yeah.
for Potter, it became a meme. The lads gave everything, became a meme. The lads clearly didn't give everything. They didn't care about the club.
I mean, on a serious note, he's a
about
good
the
manager, but the job may have come too early for him.
Yeah, probably too big
So,
club for him.
yeah, coming to more on a technical grounds, I understand this demeanor bit of yours, but on the field, what went wrong for him? Was he given a mammoth task to go, because the team is filled with potential talents as well as good players, right?
Yeah.
So what
Chelsea always have had good
and
players.
he has proven himself playing good
2003.
style of football with a decent team, right? So on field, what went wrong? What did you, as a Chelsea fan, witness when Potter was in charge?
Well, the thing is, there's too many things that went wrong with, like, not just, and that's not just down to Potter and his tactics. Like, the team needed an out-and-out striker in the first place, and we've been playing without a striker ever since. I mean, to be honest, ever since Diego Costa left, we haven't really gotten a striker replacement, and that was the biggest, I think, problem that we had. Even with Lukaku coming in and the interview that he had and his exit, like, we looked like we had someone who could hold the ball, who could play that kind of football again, that rough physical football, but we didn't. We had to make Havertz play. But I think the biggest problem.
Are you forgetting Werner, man? It's like he wasn't there.
Is there refuses?
No, I've
I've
always maintained that.
You know why I remember
Werner
it?
has been.
He was completely linked with Liverpool, and then obviously we didn't Get him. I'm okay
I
with
dodged
that.
a bullet
But
there.
you basically even refusing to acknowledge that he was there
Exactly.
is
He
insanity,
refuses to
man.
acknowledge him.
See, no, I've always maintained that Werner has been a victim of poor
Smaller goal
classification.
size.
I mean it's not that he it's not that he is a bad player. Werner is a really good player. He has really good characteristics. He has that burst of pace. I think that you you know what happened with Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry used to play on the wings, and then Arsene Wenger told him, no, you play center, you play striker,
No,
and
you're
you'll score
touching
goals.
upon a very
Yeah.
sensitive topic. So yeah,
Decided.
we have an Arsenal
I'm just
representation
going to
here.
say it's going to be the opposite. It should have been the opposite for Werner. Werner should
Yeah.
have been told, "Bhai, you're not a striker.
Yeah.
You play on the wings. You open up you open up the place for a striker. You bring the defenders towards you. You create
He
space.
should probably open up spaces for
Yeah.
Romelu Lukaku
Yeah.
to go and miss.
Yeah.
That's what he meant to say.
And that's how we won the Champions League. Werner opened up space for Havertz, who went on to score that goal. So that's what he was good at. He was good
Yeah,
at
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
opening
we
up space.
automatically went to Champions League,
Yes,
I
because
was
that's the only
waiting for him to
saving
just
grace.
get there.
Yeah, Champions League. Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah.
He's showing that, okay, they are the last English team.
Yeah.
No, they are not the last English team. Man City have won it.
We're the only London
Blatantly
team
ignored City.
to win the Champions League.
Everybody
Slowly
blatantly
coming
ignored
down,
City, man.
Yeah, okay. So Amit,
Okay, yeah.
as a Spurs fan, what do you think about Pochettino going to Chelsea? Because you guys were also looking for a manager. So was it a decision from the club to not to pick him, or
Yeah.
he refused to come to Spurs?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of hot discussions amongst Spurs fan clubs and everywhere that is Pochettino considered as a traitor of sorts, right?
Mhm,
Uh,
mhm.
I personally believe that Pochettino has done a very great job in Spurs. That is true. But yeah, this is very sour fruit for us as well that he's going to Chelsea, the London rivals. So, but yeah, I see he has a special place in our hearts. But does that mean we would support him in Chelsea, or would we want him to win any trophies? So no, not at all. We want him to fail as bad as possible, maybe sacked in 6 months or so, so that he can come without any trophy for Chelsea as well. But yeah, we cannot blame Pochettino for anything. What we can is only appreciate what work he has done. He is the one responsible that we build a stadium without getting relegated, right? Because you could have been relegated on those 2-3 tough seasons where we did not do any signings. The quality was getting bad and bad, but yeah, he still made the team. He still went through. But yeah, also, why did we not get him back? More about it is around Divi maybe acknowledging his mistake. That will never happen. He will never acknowledge that he sacked somebody by mistake. So doing the correction is not the Livy way of doing things, right?
Also,
So-
I have a
Also, Poch might have wanted to win some trophies, maybe.
yeah. I have a question for
That hurt,
Karthik,
man.
actually,
That hurts.
because essentially at one point of time, Spurs had a really good squad, right? Really good squad.
Yeah.
And obviously they didn't win any trophy. So my thing is Chelsea's always been about only one thing. कुछ भी करो trophy लेके आओ.
Yeah, that's true.
Season 7 में रहो, 8, you can be on 7th, you can be on 8th, you can be anywhere. At the end of the season, we want a trophy.
Yeah.
Right? And Poch, even in PSG, he actually missed out on trophies. Right? Even in PSG. So
He did get, no? I
no,
think
he did, but he did miss out on some obvious trophies.
Abhay, I think
for
in his
PSG,
whole
the
career, he
only-
has just won 3 trophies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
PSG
two
is
of them are at
the
PSG.
only one target to win Champions League. If the manager
Yeah.
does not win Champions League, he is not
Look,
successful at all.
we are. I understand you guys have delved into the topic of trophies, like yeah, like it's commonplace and everyone wins it every
Not
year.
everyone, bro.
Okay,
Not everyone. I was correct.
I understand you are making fun of your own club. That's great, good spirits. But what I wanted to say is, Mauricio Pochettino is the kind of manager you get at a club when the club is a complete mess. You want to rebuild the club. That's where he's
Yeah.
brilliant at. That's
True.
what he's done. I mean, he has earned his name in European football
Yeah.
based on that.
True.
He rebuilds the team. And
Yeah.
Chelsea have got the perfect manager in my opinion, and that they have to rebuild the squad. And also the kind of exits that are happening currently at Chelsea, and it is all except for Mount, I guess. I mean, Pochettino would have loved to have a player
Mount.
like Mount, definitely.
Yeah.
That was not sanctioned by Pochettino himself. All the others have been, I mean, clear instructions in his interview was to get rid of the players, make the
Yeah.
squad smaller. The smaller, the efficient it is, because obviously they will not be competing for the highest trophies this year. They'll focus on rebuilding and doing well in the Premier League and getting back to Champions League.
Also, they're not in Europe as well.
No,
Yes,
and
exactly.
as you said,
Yeah.
as you said, it's a rebuilding process. But Karthik, Mauricio Pochettino in his first interview said that we cannot say that it's going to be a process and blah blah blah. We have to get straight to the action, and we have to start performing from game one. So, see, I have a question. Like you said that you couldn't identify Chelsea with Potter,
Brilliant
and
point.
Yeah.
Pochettino has a style of play, and
Yeah.
Chelsea fans, as you know, what matters to them is trophies, not the style of play and all that. So
Yeah.
what, as a Chelsea fan, you want? You want a style of play, or you want trophies, or what is it? You want stability?
That's
You could give
that's
him some time.
actually, yeah, that's actually a good point. I had actually, when I was looking into Pochettino and the tactics that he uses, it's a lot direct. He is a little flexible when it comes to implementing strategies, implementing players into his starting 11, and all of that. But one thing I did find lacking was um, his lack of preparation for big games. I mean, he wouldn't adapt too much to the opposition. And that is one way Chelsea has won a lot of trophies in the past few years. I mean, we know that we're the underdogs, but we need to win somehow. We'll park the bus, we'll play, 1-10-0 formation, whatever, but we'll somehow win. That's been something that we've always done. But I don't expect to see that coming from Pochettino. I think he's always going to try and get his players to play a certain kind of football, irrespective of the game. And I mean, that has its pros and cons. And the cons is that I don't really expect Chelsea to win a title, any silverware this season, to be honest. What I would like to see from Chelsea is maybe get us into one or two domestic cup finals, and probably compete in the league again.
So you're ready to give him that time for that process?
Are you?
I want to just ask one thing. You're saying that Chelsea is a team that would, even defend for their lives, but they would try to win the trophies. Is it because of how Chelsea plays, or more of how Mourinho has spent a lot of time in Chelsea, and he has built a team like that? So that's Mourinho's way of playing. I think Conte
So
spent
he's
a lot of
asking,
time,
I
right?
mean, so
Yeah,
your
because of
question is like
coaches
his identity has been imprinted into the fabric of the
Yeah, I
club
feel
ever
like
since.
two really big coaches who play
Nice.
very kind of
No, I
that
think
kind of play where they defend for their lives. Not too much attacking, but more defensive. Where Pochettino is like high press attack and everything. It's a completely different scenario. So what I'm asking you is that you are expecting that kind of style of play because you have seen too much of it, or it is just how Chelsea just used to play all the time or something like that.
Yeah,
Nice
that's how Chelsea used to play for sure. But because I mean, it's not only Jose Mourinho's vision that the club has taken in imbibe, but I think it was also the ruthlessness with which Marina Granovskaya and Roman Abramovich also demanded results. They demanded results. And that was the end of it. So if you're a Chelsea manager, how do you get results? You need to do your job. You can't say that I'm going to play brilliant football. I'm going to, do tiki-taka, this, that. You need to get your boys to go out there and at the end of the 90 minutes, make sure you have 3 points, and that's what a lot of the Chelsea managers, at the end of the day, they mastered that. They somehow went on to win. But I don't expect with the new ownership, that isn't the priority. I feel when it's communicated to the manager, I don't see that kind of an impact being translated to the manager in the sense that you have to win every game. I think the talk is more about sustainability, the more about promoting young players, getting them to play good football, improving the brand. I think these are the conversations that I think
I
are
guess
happening right now at Chelsea.
under Roman, I believe the only manager that got any leeway, uh, even though he did not have that defensive kind of a style like Mourinho or a Conte did, right, was Frank Lampard. He
Yeah,
tried
man.
to establish some kind of style of play, but that was a guy for which the job was too big at that point. I mean, he should have
But
focused
do
a
you
I think
lot
believe,
more.
even now it's too big, to be
do you
honest.
believe, Karthik, that Mauricio Pochettino has all the tools in place right now to make to actually start probably this rebuild or actually do something good in this year to probably not get sacked? I think for him the most biggest target would be not getting sacked.
Also,
I think
I mean, I know this is going on and all, but I have a very big contention with the point of what is being passed on to the manager, because the moves that you've made in the transfer market, they don't say, oh, you know what, let's make a playing style or whatnot. The amount of money that you spent in 2 windows, it's almost 600 million pounds, right? Or plus.
Yeah.
That does not show anywhere that, you know what, let's have a process or whatever. It shows, and you got players like Koulibaly, which are at their primes are only going to fall. You've got Raheem Sterling, and you spend.
Koulibaly is gone though.
Koulibaly is gone, man.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, when you bought those players, it never looked like, oh, we are looking for a process. We're looking for this. I understand you're looking to make a brand or probably change the identity. But when you bring in those players, nowhere does it say on your face that, you know, we are building something. It always says we want to win. Those players.
No, I don't think that. See, yes, we are spending big money, but I don't think the signings say that we intend to win. If we intended to win, maybe we would have gotten Haaland to come. You know what I'm trying to say.
But
why don't you get Mbappe as well, man?
No, why do you need
Haaland?
Haaland? No, why? I don't understand. Why do you need Haaland when you already have Romelu Lukaku?
Exactly, man.
Game changer.
Dude,
The man of the match.
The man of the match.
The man of the match of Champions League final.
Exactly.
The person who decided the final.
Dude,
Wow.
with Chelsea, the strikers are so scared to be in Chelsea that they run like anything.
Bro, the number 9
go.
The number 9
just wants to
is
go.
real.
It's like
Number 9
Tigers
curse,
graveyard.
man. Seriously.
No,
Ever
Karthik,
since,
I want to know, see, you guys mean business. Chelsea always looks for managers to win trophies. I mean, there have been 2 managers who have won the title in their first season. There was Don Carlo and Don Antonio Conte. I mean, he's not a Don. You can call something else.
Oh, so Carlo Ancelotti is a Don.
Yeah, he's a Don.
Yeah,
he's a Don.
he is.
He's Don Carlo. He's Don Carlo.
I don't want to say anything.
Yeah. So, you wanted a manager who would straight away go and win trophies. But Mauricio Pochettino hasn't won any trophies. Like whatever he has won in the Farmers League, so-called Farmers League, and that too with PSG. So, were there any other managers you were looking for, or is it a case like Jo mil gaya le liya?
I mean, to be honest, Mauricio Pochettino's clubs have probably limited him. So I'll just tell you, let me just refresh you, refresh the memory, is that Spurs, when you manage Spurs, they never finished outside a Champions League place except for his first season at the club. And that is saying something, I mean, about
he could
Spurs.
make
Even Spurs haven't finished at the same level after Pochettino left. Ever since he left.
No.
And he managed, so he's, I think, in the top 4 coaches, ex-Tottenham Hotspur coaches, he has the highest win percentage. He's in the top 4. And the rest of the top 3 in that top 4 have barely played lesser than 100 matches as manager. He has close to 300. So 300 games, and he's kept them at that level. I think if Spurs had invested a little more into the squad, I think they could have, and overall they had a good mentality.
Spurs' history is Mauricio Pochettino. And Pochettino, wahi khatam ho jata hai bas.
Agree.
He took that team to a Champions League final, my friend.
No,
but
I do want to say something. If you look at the team that was made, right? Essentially, he came from Southampton. He took Vanayama from there, right? He took some good players at cheap rates. And if you look at the team that Spurs had, it was actually a good team of players, right?
Yeah.
So my question is, when what do you call, when you have got good players and you come to the final and then you miss it.
Yeah.
Even that season when Leicester won the league, right?
Yeah.
Spurs were the actual ones who were going after the league, right?
Yeah.
And when you looked at the odds, they were the best, primed, followed by Arsenal and Leicester to whatever. But my thing is, when you look at it that way, don't you think he seems kind of something Chelsea would never hire?
No, it's. I mean, see, at the end of the day, Pep Guardiola lost his Champions League final to Chelsea. What did they do? They went ahead and signed a 200 million striker. They went signed everyone they could, under the sun that they could get. So that's when you double down, when you're that close to something. Even Chelsea has lost Champions League finals in the past. It's not like after that we've stopped rebuilding, we've stopped investing. I don't see Spurs having done that with the same intensity. They have not doubled down on their intention to win. If they had continued, they could have probably done that. With Chelsea, I still feel like even if he doesn't win something in the first season, I think he has. I mean, let's put it this way: he has the highest probability in his career to win a trophy now than he ever did. So,
absolutely,
the odds are
100%.
Let's see what he can do.
With Spurs, I believe he was given a set of players who were not very great, right? Even Kane was just from the academy. So what I believe is that what he had that time was a bunch of guys who needs a direction, who gets to be played and a team to make, right? But Chelsea does sign people which are stars, right? You talking about the big signings if you reach a CL final, right? But let's say when he went to PSG, right, he had those big names to manage and he failed to do that. Where will
because of obvious reasons
come in between, right? Where he will have to manage big names in Chelsea to reach that final step, which he did not in Spurs.
No, I feel the big names at Chelsea. I don't see any. All the big names,
but they will, right?
I feel I want to put it in one line that what he had at Spurs, right? Not had, what he actually missed with Spurs, having already overachieved with that Spurs team, right? What he missed was Levy's ambition, Levy's inclination as to not to spend that much, because Karthik mentioned, right, you need to double down when you're that close. You still final Spurs at it. What happened after the season after is what matters. So I guess that particular gap that was there at Spurs, it will be fulfilled at Chelsea. That's why Karthik also, I want to echo what Karthik said. I also personally feel that this is the best chance that Pochettino will ever have in his career until now to win a trophy and also to build and also to win a trophy and also compete with City, having established the style as well, because he's going to get a transfer kitty as big as 200-300 million. Okay,
not this season maybe.
And you guys could argue with me about the fact that, like Amit mentioned, he was at PSG. He had all the stars in the team, right? But that front three never played the way Pochettino would want to press their forwards.
That is true.
Never.
See,
there was a game. There was a game I was looking at yesterday in a Champions League game where the entire team was tracking back and behind. The three were nowhere to be seen in the frame. That is not Pochettino. Pochettino's teams do not play like that.
That's what you get when you manage PSG. And Karthik, I would like to know, there have been a lot of exits from Chelsea. I mean, almost 10 players have left. So now what is left of Chelsea team, and what do you think Pochettino's methods will be? What kind of signings are you preferring, and who do you think will be the captain? As a Chelsea fan, who do you feel should be the captain, and what do you think Mauricio Pochettino will appoint captain? Like, whom do you think will he appoint? Because in his press conference, he said there are a lot of players who have experience. I have to go and judge them, have a feel with them, and then I'll decide who will be the captain. So, from a Chelsea fan, who do you think should be the captain, and who do you think Mauricio will choose as a captain?
If it's
No,
he's
assistant manager.
He's
Actually.
assistant manager.
Yeah, if like I would love to see Reece James as captain, but I mean, if he's not going to be fit for 30% of the season,
Yeah, that's what I'm
then
saying.
I would
He's
say
not available.
I would say
That's a big
Enzo,
call, Karthik. You have Thiago
Enzo
Silva.
Fernandez.
Thiago Silva.
Thiago
will
Silva,
be
I think
benchman.
is
He's going to leave,
I
I
think
guess,
he's going to
unfortunately.
play the same role that John Terry did when he was transitioning away from Chelsea towards this last season. I think that's the role he's going to play for most of this season. I think it's the battle for the captaincy is between Enzo Fernandez and Reece James, and of course Thiago Silva when he plays.
Why
So
Enzo
I think-
Fernandez? Because he cost you so much.
Exactly.
I mean, and he's a natural leader. And the way he's
leadership
represented the
quality.
club, the way he speaks, I think he brings that to the table.
I don't know, man.
believe,
It sounds like
he is a
I wanted
you
to
guys
share
have
one.
lack of leaders, you know.
I wanted
Maybe
to share
it
one
is not-
anecdote regarding Pochettino.
No.
I'll share that after Karthik finishes.
No,
Actually,
no.
Go ahead.
What I wanted to say was Enzo. Like, see, no matter what, even now in this circumstance, Chelsea has the pull, and these are the players who Enzo really pushed to come to Chelsea. Like, so
Yeah, when
and
you get
ever
paid so
since
much,
he's
you will
come-
push. Yeah.
So,
And
I can get that.
even in the
No,
even in
not
last season
necessarily.
when he wasn't, even in last season when we weren't really performing well, he was one of the strongest voices in the team. So
Absolutely.
like Enzo has that natural leadership. He can rally the forces. So that definitely is there. So I wouldn't mind seeing him as captain for sure.
That
I
guy
do-
really wanted
yeah.
something in that United game that I saw, right? I mean, you guys were getting battered, but he was that guy who showed heart in midfield. He was running all the time. So yeah, good pick. But also at the same time, what I wanted to say is that Pochettino is not the one who's just going to look at a player and have him wear the captain's armband. He's the type of player, as Amit would also veto, is that he actually connects with everyone at a personal level.
personal
He
level,
wants to know the history of each and every player.
That's
And
a
his
strength,
door is
yeah.
always open. You can
Yeah.
he's
give
a complete
bargain.
proper man manager.
Man
you can,
manager,
can
yeah.
have
Man,
him.
that guy is such a thing that he himself said in his press conference, I want to know what is going on with Dele Alli. That is the connect he has.
That's the kind of
Yeah, and
true.
that is what he said. Like, I want to go there, meet everyone. I have to
Meet
get
him.
the feel of everyone, and then we'll decide. But he also said one word, that is experience. There are a lot of experienced players.
Yeah.
So I understand from a Chelsea fans' perspective, you would like Enzo to be your captain, but I'm not sure he'll be making him the captain.
See,
because-
it's like Virat Kohli as Indian captain, right? Whoever will stay in the team consistently will become the captain.
No,
Yeah.
Enzo is
do-
going to be a
yeah.
familiar figure in the Chelsea lineup for sure.
Yeah. I want to bring it back to a little bit to how Pochettino plays, right? We've been talking about it, and he generally plays, at least in Spurs, if I'm as far as I've seen, right? He mostly played 4-2-3-1 with double pivot, right? And sometimes I guess he played 3-4 3-4-2-1, right?
Three.
Where he put
3-2-4-1, one attacking. 3-2-4-1.
I remember. Yeah, I remember 3-4-2-1. I don't know.
One of the
in that
left backs or right backs become the
basically
three.
right
It
backs
can still
pushing
be
up
4-2-3-1.
and a defender going back, making a 3 and something like that.
Yeah.
So that's his general style of play. I have not seen him at least play something else. Do you have players for that? Do you need signings? And do you think he's going to play the same way?
Just to add one, Abhay is saying that even after when you lost, when you let many players go, your midfield looks very thin as of now.
So I understand. See, I understand you're trying to rebuild, but Chelsea, even on your rebuild days, you wouldn't want to be. You wouldn't want to be out of top 6, right? This is outlier. You don't want to be out of top 6. So, but it feels like that you don't have a squad for it currently.
And top 4 will still be a target for Chelsea. Like Pochettino's target would be top 4.
And he is not going to change the way he plays. Okay.
So what I'm worried about, What I'm worried about Chelsea at the moment is that striker scenario, because they are going to overload that midfield. They are going to sign Caicedo for 100
Yeah,
million
yeah.
pounds eventually.
Yeah.
But
Negotiations are
even with
still on.
Caicedo, the midfield looks thin, right,
No,
Karthik?
no, no. Midfield is
Also,
sorted.
We
That's what
have
I'm trying to
we have
understand basically. Do you
youngsters.
have
Yeah.
do you
Yeah,
have players?
youngsters they have. Correct.
They're
also,
youngsters.
Like
Please go
I
ahead,
have
Karthik.
I have a question that I've been meaning to ask for a long time. It's that you have such a thin squad, and the way Pochettino plays is uh, it's a mixture of what Bielsa and Guardiola probably play,
Yeah,
right?
it's a
It's
good
Yeah,
cross.
yeah. Good, yeah.
high pressing, super high pressing, winning the
Yeah.
ball in midfield, defensive, really good defensive shape, and trying to make a pattern of three. And usually the way he scored, the goals are scored when he's allowed to play the way he wants in Southampton or Spurs. PSG couldn't do, but what it usually is, they overload on one side, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a crossover, and the free player is the one who creates attacks. And secondly, he always seems to have this player who is like who is a runner into the box and giving those final goals, like a goal assist machine from the midfield or center attack mid or whatever. And when I look at your squad, I think Nkunku could do that, but then but it seems Nkunku is like a Swiss knife who could who could play on the right back, on the center attack mid, right wing, left wing, striker.
Yeah.
I just don't understand
How it's going to fit into the dynamics.
Yeah.
yeah. And also your
Even
squad,
that's what I'm
your squad
I mean,
can it even handle so much high press, like
yeah.
I think we can. Like that's the beauty of it, is that like all of the players, especially in our attack, we're all versatile players. Like,
Sure.
and I see Jackson hopefully playing a good part in this. I mean, this season, holding up the ball, and I
Nice
see,
grab, by the way.
yeah, I see Nkunku also, playing off of Jackson as a second striker, or maybe more of a free roam kind of a role. See, at the end of the day, it's up to, it's down to Pochettino and how he gets the best out of his players. And we all know that's something that he's really good at, is
Really
getting the
good at.
best out of young players, training them to do, what they are good at, not expecting them to do things in a certain way. I think he gets the best out of each and every player.
You
And
touched upon
like-
training.
like-
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, if we see the
Training is
Southampton
very-
side, it's all like James Ward-Prowse,
Ricky Lambert,
Lallana,
man, how can you
Ricky
forget?
Lambert. Yeah, like he got each and
The
every part
best,
of that
yes.
unit to work cohesively together. And even at Spurs, he got the best out of Son, he got the best out of Dele Alli,
Correct.
and
Even Kane.
and that's what I'm looking forward to see. That's what
But
is making
Ricky
me
Lambert has
excited.
said himself, his trainings are the most intense.
Yeah.
And
I think
he has a
We'll
philosophy.
see a very rejuvenated Romeo
Yeah.
Lukaku then.
So, final question to you,
No.
Karthik. What
No.
what do you think under Pochettino would be the starting lineup of Chelsea?
Yeah.
Oh,
How do you see it?
That's a 11-word answer.
Just 11 words you want.
No, I mean, to be
So-
very honest, it's a little harsh on Karthik to be
Yeah.
asking
Exactly.
that, because even Pochettino doesn't know his
Doesn't
11.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think even I think so. I can tell you what I would like to see.
Correct.
Like,
That's all we are.
I would like to see.
Acha, aisa kya?
I would like to see Kepa.
Okay.
A great
Fine every
Kepa.
position.
Yeah.
Kepa at the
Even I would
back,
like to see
Reece
that.
James. Yeah, and Reece James and Ben Chilwell on the flanks.
Yeah.
And I would like to see Colville getting a chance this season.
We're
that
taking him.
is-
We're taking him.
No,
In your
that's not
dreams.
happening. He's not for sale. That's guaranteed.
Colville कहाँ से bro? हैं? कौन से? ये
We
Liverpool
are
वाले
connected somewhere.
trip
We are
में.
connected somewhere.
Yeah.
तुम अलग ही
Bobby
trip में हो.
And Colville getting a chance. I would
Yeah.
like to see, Enzo ruling midfield for sure. And
Caicedo.
hopefully Mudryk is going to fill a big void.
Best possible manager for him.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
Mudryk's best chance to kickstart his career, to take his career to another level. This is the perfect circumstance for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll
And
ask
of
you
course,
actually Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, he can 11.
yeah,
and
of course,
11, yeah.
Nkunku also. Yeah.
and
I'll ask you
Lukaku
just
up
like
front.
one word question.
Lukaku can just pack his bags and go to
He's
Saudi or
probably
wherever,
already got the
Antarctica
plan.
for all that matter. Yeah.
So you've seen all the teams and you've seen your team. Where do you see yourself in first season in the table?
Yeah. Look,
Let's-
100% sure Boehly would have given the softest and the smallest targets to qualify for Champions League. That's for sure.
Smallest.
I
But
see.
yeah,
I
but where do
see.
you see? Yeah.
I see as the third or second.
Third.
You-
Third with
what?
Pochettino.
No,
भाई
no,
फिर
third
स्पर्स
with
कहाँ
Pochettino.
जाएगी?
My
आर्सेनल कहाँ
guy.
जाएगी?
Wow.
स्पर्स आर्सेनल के लिए जगह छोड़ भाई.
No,
No,
I
but-
think. See,
Wow,
you have
that's
to
some
remember
confidence,
that
man.
we are only going to focus on the league. So
True.
you know,
You have
we are
nothing to
going
play,
to be
nothing
back.
else to play for. Yes,
I think after a long
So
time
does
as
Spurs,
a
man.
Chelsea
So does
fan,
Spurs.
I'm excited to
Yeah.
excited to kickstart a new season after a long time to see what's going to happen.
I think
That's-
it's always
actually,
been
that's
like that
very
for a
ambitious,
Chelsea
you know.
fan. Every
It's
every
always
season you are
ambitious.
very optimistic. A new manager, new
Yeah, yeah.
system.
New manager bounce.
ऐसे बोलते हैं ना कुछ ना कुछ हो ही जाएगा. We've always had that mentality.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let's see.
Yeah.
You know, Frank always had that thing. New manager bounce, at least in the first one.
Yeah.
So-
Even Ole had that
Yeah.
a lot of times, you know. I remember.
Ole, new manager bounce.
Let's,
But he was a
Dude,
manager
every
for
time,
2 whole
dude,
seasons.
every time he was about to be fired, he would win like 2-3 games in the stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
goes into all
Yeah,
those
yeah.
El
By the way,
Sacicos
yeah.
and
Seriously,
get the win
man.
Yeah,
out of
that-
it.
He would get win like in the complete situations where no one would expect him to win.
Exactly.
I remember entering one with him with Nuno Espirito Santo, right? The El Sacico, the so-called El
El
Sacico
Sacico,
was
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
And
and
Nuno won
yeah,
that
okay.
El Sacico and got
Yeah.
sacked.
But we are
Funny.
happy that we get a lot of United managers sacked.
Okay,
Every time they
final
play
thing.
against-
so let's
I
say
wanted
so
to ask.
since
I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to ask everyone. So do you anticipate Chelsea based on Karthik's comments? I want to ask our group. Do you see Chelsea finishing third? Because there are literally beast of teams that are going to play this
Correct.
time, and who are going to only focus on the league this time. Be it Spurs, Liverpool, and Chelsea.
Oh, Spurs.
Three
Every one of
original
them and-
OGs
Come on, you Spurs.
are going to be focusing on the league. On top of that, City, as we know, are like proper beasts. They are going to
Yeah.
challenge. They have the squad. And shall we say Arsenal or just ignore it?
No, Arsenal are going to compete for a title, you know. Till
Yeah.
February, they are
Ars-
going to compete for title. And then,
Yeah, for the
like,
title.
you know,
Then Saliba
I
might
think-
get injured, you know.
yeah.
So,
No, this time it would be Timber.
Fucking hell,
Timber would
bro.
get injured.
Fucking
And
hell.
then they'll say, yeah, because of that. Arsenal
Man,
also
next season, if Arsenal lose out on another title like that, next season,
Right.
I'm going to pick that clip where he had said Saliba got injured, bro.
I-
Bro, no,
Right,
bro. You can't. Don't do that to me, bro. It gives me
I
like
don't think-
PTSD, bro. Oh my god.
I'm not going
No,
to
I-
underestimate Arsenal this time. Like I don't think it's
I-
time to
I-
underestimate
you are
Arsenal.
over-
Yeah, shit
Yeah.
just
Funny
got
matter.
real. Yeah.
yeah.
I'll actually start with that. You know, I honestly don't see Chelsea at third. I'm happy
me
for your
neither.
optimism,
It's going
I'm
to be
happy for
really
optimism,
tough at the top.
but I don't see Chelsea even qualifying for Champions League. Honestly, I mean, depends on how the season goes. They might do well, and if the first half they do well, then it's fine. But at this point, the way everybody has strengthened, top four is going to be difficult. Anyway, so
Yep.
third I don't see. Top four may not be because seasons goes anywhere. But at this point,
Yeah.
at least I don't see it. You know. But yeah, it's going.
I believe,
one thing I can say for sure that Poch, perfect manager for Chelsea, exactly at the right time, with the right kind of squad, mix of young and experience and all that, and he's exactly the right guy to get take him.
Nicely summed up. Yeah, yeah.
Chelsea.
I have the similar opinions. Perfect manager at the perfect time. Yeah. So he will get you somewhere, but Chelsea, I mean, if Spurs were relentless and unhappy with top four consistently, imagine Chelsea, man. After 2-3 years, Boehly is going to be literally sick of this top four and UCL qualifying for UCL nonsense. He is going to want titles. So
Yeah.
Poch
Yeah.
has to up his game a little bit, and he also needs to learn from the mistakes of the past. He need to be
Yeah.
and this is like
He needs
like
to
my
be a
closing
big game
statement.
manager.
Yeah, this is my
Yeah.
closing statement. If Karthik, you would have also noticed, I actually was watching his presser, the first presser. he has become a little different. He's changed.
Yeah.
Previously, he used to be I want to help the squad. We want to see how the plan goes. This is a 3-year project. What he has said this time is, at Chelsea, you are expected to win the first game. There is no
Yeah.
time. You have to win the
Yeah.
first trophy. You have to win the first game. You have to win against the best sides. So his mentality has changed. That's why I feel he's the right fit, and Chelsea will do well. That's it.
Yeah.
That's my
actually
comment.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
since Chelsea managers always have a short history, so if you could say how long will he last, I
Yeah.
would go for 1.5 seasons and then
I
he'll
think
get sacked.
we should also
Okay.
tell that where do you think Chelsea will end up, and with or without Pochettino in this
Right.
No, I think they are
yeah.
going to finish this season with Pochettino.
With
I mean,
Pochettino.
Yeah.
it's a
That's
question
for
of
sure.
how many years
Yeah.
will he be there at Chelsea?
No, everyone
What-
said the same thing about Potter, man. He that guy gave him a 6-year contract.
Yeah,
Who
man.
thought that he's going to be sacked inside 6-7
No,
months?
that was the
No
rumors part
Chelsea
too.
fan. No Chelsea fan expected him to last a long
Last
time.
that
Like
long.
I can tell you that.
Is it? Oh, nice. I genuinely believe that the best position that Chelsea could probably come at is fourth. That's what I believe at the end of the season. But I believe with no Europe and them concentrating on the league, they should ideally be getting fourth, because I actually think they do have quality in the squad, and Boehly would be strengthening. And but I still think, is he the best fit for Chelsea? I don't think so. But amongst the managers that were available, I thought that Nagelsmann was a better fit.
Correct.
I think Nagelsmann was a way better fit, but that's just how I look at it. But from the reports that I was seeing, I think Chelsea actually went for Nagelsmann as well.
Yeah.
And Nagelsmann
He
actually said,
rejected them.
yeah. So right. And the second manager, I think who could have been really well for Chelsea would have been Luis Enrique, with the kind of technical players Chelsea have got finally. It was never so. But I do believe Pochettino is good enough for a rebuild. Trophies,
Correct.
I'm not so sure.
So yeah,
I-
actually Nagelsmann has saved himself for the Arsenal job. Once Arteta gets sacked this season, he is going to take over at Arsenal, guys.